Okay, the third 6 weeks is all about nonfiction. You should have your sheet cut out and glued in where our new section is. If you want to have the tab hanging over, you can. If you don't, that's fine. It's good in here. With nonfiction, we're going to be talking about organizational patterns, text features, author's purpose, and analogies. The book we're going to be reading from is called Reality Central. Looks like this. All right, it's a textbook. It's going to be full of, there's 6 different units, and each 6 weeks, or each week of the 6 weeks, we're going to be going into a new unit. All right, like unit 1 is, what is the best way to find the truth? We'll talk about this together, and then each of you are going to pair up, and you're going to be given your activity. Now, you're going to choose 2 stories that you both like, all right, and then you're going to read them both, and then you're going to do the activities that go with them. And your Monday and Tuesday will be your days to do that. If you don't finish it Monday, Tuesday, and you have to do it Wednesday or Thursday, then that's you're wasting your own time, because Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays we'll be doing reading out of our own library books and doing reflections, because we are not reading a class book. So I want you guys to get through your own chapter books very quickly, but we will be doing reflections, sharing those, using our sticky notes to talk about, I found a connection, I found an inference, a visualization, things like that. Stuff we haven't done yet, but we've worked a little bit on it. So we'll start in the Reality Central Monday. It'll be the start off of that. Not until next 6 weeks. Now, the stories are very short. They have 1, 2, 3 pages, and then wrap-up activities. You each individually, you're responsible for the activities, but you will be doing them as a pair. Okay, so you're working together, but you have to both write them down, the information. So there's sheets of information there. Super simple, super easy. Now, reflection journals, we already talked about that. Summarizing reading strategies, visualization, connection, inferencing, prediction. That is what we'll be doing Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays. So you better make sure you are really making sure you bring your library books every day, because we will be reading. And if you finish your group work Monday, then that means you have Tuesday through Friday to read. So it just depends on how well you work and how quickly you work as to how much extra time you're going to have to read your own books. This is the rest of this 6 weeks. Now, question. When? Tomorrow is library day, so we'll all go tomorrow. Okay. Now, the other thing we're going to be starting too is we really need to pump up you guys' vocabulary skills. So we're going to start with Daily Spark. If at the beginning of the day when you come in, you're going to come back in, you'll see this. These are a new vocabulary word each day. And it'll have clues, context clues for you to figure out what the word means, little activities that go with it, and that'll be your bell warm-up time, okay? If you finish that before your time's up, you can always work on Boggle, but we will go over this as a group just to help build up your vocabulary words. And there are, let's see, ready? How many pages in here? So we won't get all the way through this book, that's for sure, but there are 181 words in this book that we'll go through. And so we're going to try to do 1 word a day. You learn a new word each day. Yes, sir. Okay, we'll have to get one for you in a minute, okay? All right. That is what we're doing this 6 weeks. What I want you to do is flip over to your next page. You should have this on the right. Flip over. Now, I'm about to give you this sheet here. Text features. Okay, the sheet you got, what you're going to do is cut down the side and across the bottom to help it fit in. See, like I did, I just left the space here. If you want to have your lines to write on, you can cut over and then down, so that'll give you lines to write on if you like that, or you can just do like I did and cut straight down. This side is where you're going to be writing down definitions for what we are going to do over here. Now, it's going to be in your own words. What is a table of contents? Index, maps, graphs, charts, photographs, captions, headings, subheadings, and types of print. Get that cut out and get it glued over here on the left side of your paper. Goodness gracious, that is some major cutting. You're fine. He trimmed it out tight. All right, where can we find a table of contents? Yes, at the beginning of the book. All right, at the beginning of the book is where we find our table of contents. It gives us where the articles are and the page numbers are. It gives us the name of the articles and the page numbers. All right. If you were looking in a cookbook, you would find in the table of contents the different recipes and what page numbers are they on. All right, like the all the breads, all the main dishes, all the desserts. Now, so you have your table of contents is at the front of the book. Index, where can we find the index at? Connor, where can we find the index at? No. Where can we find the index in a story? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, in the back of the book. Now, the index comes at the back. The index is where you can find specific pieces of information. Like if you're reading a cookbook, again, back to that example, the table of contents tells us where we can find desserts. So you look for desserts and you go to that page and it gives you all of the desserts. If you want to find a specific dessert, you go to the index. All right, the index, you look up banana bread and you look under the B's, banana bread, and it tells you what page number it's on, and then you can go to that specific page for that specific thing. If you're looking up people, like George Washington, all right, you would look, if you look under George Washington in the index, you would look under Washington, comma, George, because always with people, you look the last name, comma, first name, just like when we're searching for AR tests. If you ask you for the author's name, you have to type it in last name, comma, first name. Just like in the library, we search for last names. It's always by last name, never by first name. So index is at the back, and it gives us specific pieces of information, not just a general section like in the index, like in the table of contents at the front. Maps. What's a map? What does it tell us? Yeah, it tells you locations, where to go. It gives you directions. Charts and graphs. Now you're just reading off the board. That's why I don't like to put that up there. Yes, charts and graphs, they compare information. They give you numbers and well, numbers and letters. Yes, it gives you information to compare. Either in a bar graph, a line graph, you have charts that you can compare information, or you can talk about two different things and how they relate to each other. But charts and graphs are those kind of things, like examples down here. All right, now, photographs. Yeah, pictures of peoples, things, places. It doesn't matter. It's just a actual snapshot of something. A picture, or a photograph specifically, is a picture, like a taken from a camera. If you have a diagram or a like a character, it's going to be more of a like a cartoon type of thing. But when you see the word photograph, you're going to mostly think of like out of a camera, okay? Not anything that's drawn or that's, fictional, like cartoons and stuff. Captions. What do the captions do for the photographs? Yeah, it's like information about the picture, yes. It tells you what's happening in the picture. Generally, what's the phrase that goes with pictures? A picture is worth what? Nope. Nope. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Thank you. Good job. No, you don't. A picture is worth 1,000 words, but if the picture doesn't talk for itself, then that's where you have the caption. The caption tells you exactly what's going on in the picture. Headings and subheadings. Yes. A title is the heading, and the names of the chapters is the subheadings. If you look, here's a good example right here. Here's our heading, the title of the article. The subheadings, or the subtitles, are the different parts of the story, okay? It tells you, oh, we're going on to a new idea, okay? Like they would label the paragraph something differently each time, and that would be your subheadings. Back out. All right. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Very good. Yes. Sit down. If we're thinking about if I had one, of course I don't have one. If you have a disc, not a DVD, like a CD, the title of the disc itself, like the album title, is the heading, and the different songs themselves would be like the subheadings. Very good example. Thank you. Now, last thing is types of print. There are different reasons that there are specific types of print. There's bold, there's italics, there are highlighted print. If you look here, I've given you examples like bolded print, italics, highlighted. All that does is add emphasis to the text. It's telling you that this is important and you need to know it. All right, it adds, it like highlights it. It not just literally highlights it like with a highlighter, but it makes it stand out. Now, what your job is today is you're going to, in your own words, write down the definitions for these types of text features. And then you're going to go to the magazines and you're going to find examples of those text features and you're going to label them and glue them over here on the right. Yes? Does that make sense? Okay. So you're finding headings, subheadings, types of print, captions, photographs, charts, graphs, maps, indexes, and contents. If you find an index, you're going to be doing good because I've only seen one person today that's found an index. So that's the back one that tells you specific things and it tells you what page they're on. Okay? That's something more like you'd find. No. Table of contents is at the very front. All right. Everybody get a magazine and get to looking. Let's go. I've got examples up here on the board if you need to come up and check those out. You have until the end of class today to finish this, so you need to get with it and quit talking. You will. You will be able to find them, I promise. All right, let's go.